Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family? We're back again with another daily Casper and crypto live stream, and we have some interesting updates regarding Mantra, something that I didn't even realize that Grayscale had removed Casper from asset under consideration and added Mantra. And of course, Mantra just went through a rug pull just yesterday, which is absolutely nuts. We've got a few more updates about that as well in this stream today. Also some Casper updates as well, a general outlook, and also potentially stablecoins coming out very soon, and how it's going to be a very, very big deal for Casper as well. A lot to cover as always, so if you enjoy this daily content, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Welcome back to the Quick Crypto and Coin Factory live stream. Shay, my man, hope you're having a very, very good day. Yo, to the moon indeed. Right now we're looking at Casper. If you see on the daily chart, Casper currently up 5.07% on the daily time frame, now valued at 7.66 cents, and we can see quite clearly that on two occasions Casper has been rejected at this zone here, just below 8 cents, and of course we can see even back here that's a very strong level of resistance for Casper to try and break out of as well. But what's important to note, for those who are maybe a bit interested in regards to the trading element, this information is covered in a lot more detail in our VIP group. But just to look at the candles right now, these are the daily candles right now. If we look at the daily candles right now, we can see the wick on this red day yesterday is higher than it is lower. And even right now, we can see that it's actually no down wick today, or very small down wick here, and it's mainly up. So what this chart is telling us right now is there is a lot more buying pressure. Right now, the buyers are the ones in control of Casper's chart, which therefore does mean, of course, we've got to wait to see if it does break above this zone here. If it does break above this zone, there's a good chance we could see Casper just make a direct line up towards 10 cents, the next level of resistance right now. But looks like the buyers right now are in control of Casper, which is reassuring. That could therefore be a big signal for a breakout and another leg up. And I think, truth be told, which someone mentioned in my stream yesterday, the rug pull that happened with Mantra just recently, it could also bring more wandering eyes to projects like Casper, because Casper, due to its fair launch nature being a proof of work, it can never be rugged. It can never be rugged. So Casper is, for me, a clear pick. Of course, not financial advice, but right now, and we'll get full circle again, we'll come back to it, but right now the signals for Casper look very, very bullish to finally see a leg up. And truth be told, it would be a good indicator as well. Again, this is some bit of a TA dump here. Of course, I highlight that TA is important, but fundamentals matter a lot more right now. So the fundamentals, like the tariffs news, will have a lot more effect on the market. But looking at a TA perspective right now, the buyers seem to be in control in the last couple of days. And equally, if you look at on the longer term, we've been seeing lower highs and lower lows continuously forming, and should therefore we break out above this zone here, as we've got rebounding up here, as this was a double bottom potentially, this could therefore be an indicator of a price reversal. Considering the M2 as well, the M2 money supply, which is not, again, a perfect indicator, but it's 80% correlation to the M2 and Bitcoin. Right now, see Bitcoin's at $84,500, up just 1% almost on the daily time frame. We look at the M2, we look at Bitcoin. You can see right now that 80% correlation right now. It looks like Bitcoin is starting to make a reversal, a rally up in correlation to the M2, therefore meaning that going into May and June, we should hopefully start seeing Bitcoin starting to reach the all-time high levels again, which is possible due to all the regulatory frameworks and when they are due to come out right now. Signs suggest it's going to be sometime in August, which is just 3 to 4 months away from now, or by August even. So Bitcoin could start to see legs up in preparation for the policies coming out, which will bring so much more adoption to crypto, and Casper therefore may follow in suit. We'll have to wait and see, though. We'll get back to this again in a moment, but again, there's a lot to cover in today's stream as always, and I'm still very optimistic, and even more optimistic right now, thinking that Casper is probably due to a reversal. Again, of course, don't be emotional, be logical. Things can still come down in the short term, but for me, going into the end of this month, into May, into June, I have a more optimistic outlook for Casper's price going forward, and that will be a really, really reassuring thing to start seeing some higher highs and higher lows being formed again as well. Okay, it's been quite a while. Welcome back, Art Zero, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. My Mantra bag got smoked back to McDonald's, bro. I'm sorry to hear that, my man. I really, really am. There was a lot of belief in Mantra from what I'm finding out right now. I did hear about it, and there were people who were very, very bullish on it. I never invested into it myself. I don't think I've even mentioned Mantra on this channel before, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people would have got smoked, no doubt. And the problem was due to the liquidity, no one could even take out of their bags. So I am very sorry to hear those who did get smoked. And you know, all I could say is once we'll keep doing your own research. And as I was mentioning yesterday, there is always a relevance, if you will, to investing into alternative assets. For me, Casper is the strongest pick. Being fair, launch proof of work, it cannot go through a rug like Mantra did or like Terra Luna did. But at the same time, I also, to hedge my bets, have diversified my portfolio. So I hold other assets like XRP, SUI, C, and so on and so forth that I've mentioned already in this channel, and some that I even have disclosed to those who are part of the VIP group that I think are going to be very, very good picks this cycle as well. Point being is, those other assets I mentioned that isn't Casper, they are proof of stakes, therefore what happened to Mantra could happen to them as well. However, what I have in my own head, in my own, you know, investment strategy is a risk tolerance. So my personal scale for Casper is risk to reward right now is probably a 1 out of 10. Because it can't go through the rug pull, it's very undervalued right now. So right now, in my belief, that's why I'm DCAing a lot right now when I have the money to do so, because I think right now is a good opportunity. That's me personally. When it comes to XRP just went through a very, very big rally after the lawsuit. It's at a low level right now from its rally upwards, so it could see some higher prices going here as well. But it's a proof of stake. But I do put XRP's risk tolerance at like a 6 or 7, which therefore just means that I'm still willing to invest into it, but I'm going to put a much smaller bag in the off chance that something does go wrong and it is a rug pull, and therefore what I lose won't affect me too much at night. But yeah, I'm sorry that your Mantra bag got smoked, but we can see right now Mantra is still down 90%. It started making a small recovery yesterday, which was expected, truth be told, but it came down to $400 million market cap, which you can see right here. We started seeing small recoveries going above $1 billion because people thought, oh, it's going to come back. Or either people thought it's going to come back, or you just thought they can, you know, potentially make a quick gain. Went back up to above $1 billion, went almost to $2 billion markup again, and they've been doing a gradual bleeding since then, back down to a $500 million market cap. And yeah, I mean, almost up to above $1 billion, not $2 billion. Sorry, above $1 billion market cap, and you know, come back down 50% over the past 8-9 hours or so. And yeah, what we have discovered more about Mantra, or what has come out of Mantra, is very, very interesting right now. And in the off chance that Mantra does come back, for me, I think there's a very, very small chance, because seeing a project as big as Mantra, seeing a big project in general capitulate like that, it is not good news at all, and therefore a lot of investor confidence would have been lost right now. We can see the sentiment on CoinMarketCap, while it's not a great indicator, it's still worth looking at. That was at like 75 yesterday, and that's come down to 62 right now, so belief in the project has well and truly gone. Seeing 60% pullback, or 90% rug pull crash in just 2 hours is not good at all. In that regard, actually, we got some very interesting posts regarding Mantra before we get to some more news. For example, apparently, in about 6 hours, or that's actually last night, so that would already been and gone right now. There's going to be a summit starting in Korea, to which Mantra are the ones presenting it, which I think is and it's sponsored by Crypto.com. I'm not sure how big this event actually is in Seoul, but the fact that it's hosted by Mantra after what's just happened, I think is well, I think if the rug pull didn't happen, then, you know, it is what it is. Because the rug pull did happen, this is now, you know, someone said it down here, I wouldn't want to be the Mantra spokesperson right now. I wouldn't want to be either. This is the last thing I want to be right now, you know, being at a conference when you've just gone through a massive rug pull. There's nothing you can really do to explain what's going on that's going to, you know, bring more investor confidence back. And, you know, here, Flux said that as well. Fans who are into partnerships and proof of stake coins, Mantra had a $1 billion partnership with real world assets in United Arab Emirates in Dubai. And other claim to fame is a Google Cloud partnership. Partnerships mean nothing when tokenomics are terrible. Security is terrible. KOLs are spewing rubbish, and the main driver for getting innovation, because there's none. And he's completely right here. My main reason for getting into XRP, for example, is due to their partnerships. But of course, partnerships alone should not be enough for you to be willing to take that risk. For me, I see what Ripple and XRP have built, and I see the partnerships and the banks that want to use Ripple and XRP, and therefore, me personally, and I'm not saying anyone has to look into XRP, I know people don't like XRP, and that's completely fine. And even then, I'm a bit standoffish on XRP, but I do hold it for the belief that their technology and their fact that they're being incorporated into the banking system as we speak right now. You've got stablecoins that from the banking sector, like SG Forge, which is the largest French bank for custody as well, who is now trading their euro-backed stablecoin on XRP Ledger. So I see the use case for XRP in that regard, and that's why I thought, okay, so their tokenomics, XRP's tokenomics are terrible. Security is because it's got banks, custody and that sort of security. Security is not bad. KOLs, of course, that is going to be there no matter what. But for me, XRP is something I was willing to hedge my bets into, and I still am. Bit of a tangent, apologise for that. But point being is, yes, Mantra, it's not comparable to something like XRP. And again, it's always is a risk to reward element. And we saw yesterday in the stream that Mantra tokenomics were dreadful, absolutely dreadful. There's less than 10% for the actual ecosystem for the community. Everything else was pre-allocated or to the insiders. And Wu Blockchain here highlighted something that's quite funny as well, that they warned people about Mantra DAO back in 2021. They warned the risk of Mantra DAO in 2021. It was comprised of several core members of an online gambling platform, 21 Pink. OM once falsely claimed that it received an FTX investment after FTX later denied the information. Of course, FTX has now collapsed. So, there were warning signs. Of course, there were warning signs. And it is very, very, sad to see, of course. No one wants to see a rug pull. But at the same time, what has happened, I want to highlight as well that I'm not particularly shocked. And that sounds weird to say that, but the reason why I say that is because, not because Mantra's tokenomics and anything that was bad, that's a big factor to it, but also because we are going through a drastic transformation right here and now, where institutions are now getting involved in the space for the first time properly, want to incorporate crypto tech into their system to be able to utilize crypto tech for payments, for tokenization, for everything. They want everything to go on blockchain. So they're going to be in this space right now. There are tens of thousands of different crypto projects. A lot of them are terrible, a lot of them are already worth nothing, but there's still some that are quite big projects, like Mantra, who actually just don't have the real utility or the good fundamentals that can actually keep up in a rapidly developing space now. Mantra, for me, is the start of a domino effect. I'm not saying we're going to see loads of rug pulls happening this year, but I am highlighting that we are going to be going through, in the next couple of years, a crypto culling event, where multiple assets, some that are really big as well, most likely. I would not be surprised. ICP is already down, so maybe ICP has already had its time, but maybe ICP goes to completely zero. I'm just highlighting ICP because ICP's chart is quite bad. I don't know too much about ICP, so I cannot attest to that, but point being is you're going to see a lot of projects that either have rubbish fundamentals, crap tokenomics, or they claim to be selling false promises, or they aren't as good as something that's already out, and their price is going to go to zero. They're going to be rug pulls. This is where it's so important right now, more than ever before, with regulations coming through, to know what you're holding, to research into what you're holding, to have conviction in what you're holding. That's why I still hold Casper, because Casper, it won't go to zero. The miners will keep it alive. It's a proof of work project. It can't be rug pulled. And what they're developing right now is so innovative, it's so unique, that it's going to bring more wandering eyes to the project as well, my personal belief, not financial advice, of course. This whole thread here from Kaspa Daily also talks about how the Mantra collapse could have happened to any proof of stake token, and why proof of work, especially Casper, is built different. Of course, the reason why the general consensus in the crypto ecosystem is proof of works are terrible is because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's fantastic, but Bitcoin's not scalable. So the general consensus is, don't look at proof of work coins. They're too slow. They're just not good. They aren't fit for payments. And yes, that's true. But you've now got Casper. Casper is proving that if done diligently, if done correctly, proof of work is how crypto is meant to be. And it can still be scalable. You just needed to actually go through hard forks, have some fine tweaking. Bitcoin didn't go through hard forks. It stayed true to what it was, which is great, but now it's become a store of value. It's too slow. The XRPs came out as a proof of stake to be able to do the payments that Bitcoin couldn't handle. And, seemingly they're doing some right now. And you'll see a lot more coming for XRP, I'm sure, as well. But getting Casper, for what they're bringing, is going to bring that level of belief back. Because again, when you see the crypto culling happen, because it will happen, you're going to see the mass majority of crypto investors either just completely leave because they're scared, but then they'll come back anyways because they realize that crypto is still the future of payments and the world we're going into anyways. A Bretton Woods event. So instead, when they go and they come back, they're going to think, okay, how can I avoid being taken advantage of again? They'll be looking for something that's really, really innovative, but looking for safety as well. Some may go to assets that have backing from the banks because they have belief in the centralized system, or they'll start to back themselves. Decentralized system. They'll go to projects like Casper. What's happened to Mantra is nowhere near to the same scale as Terra Luna, but it's the same thing. Selling false promises, VC insiders, all that sort of stuff. Casper, in that regard, is completely different. Casper has instant confirmations, which most other projects in the space still can't properly attest to. The Crypto update's coming through very, very soon. It's going to bring Casper to the next level of, just ability to transact. Smart contracts are coming very soon as well. We had leaked information from Casper that highlight potentially, we're not months away now, so that, for my belief, therefore, it's going to be either in May or June time. Of course, no pre-minings, no VC backdoors. That's also why Casper struggles right now, because there's no one paying the promoters, the YouTubers, the KOLs to promote Casper, because Casper doesn't pay people. It's a fair launch project, so therefore there's not a lot of eyes on Casper. But soon, people want to make content about Casper anyways, because Casper is going to be what the hot topic is about. Ultra light clients as well, with the Rust rewrite and mobile support in progress. Using Casper will soon be as simple as any top tier chain, but without decentralized baggage. And I completely agree. Because also Casper, with their upgrades coming through, is going to be interoperable with multiple, if not every other chain. Therefore, meaning you could be working on the Ethereum chain, the Tron chain, the XRP ledger, the Solana chain, whatever chain you are as a developer, or whatever it is you do on that chain, you can seamlessly bring your tools and your infrastructure and your tech onto the Casper platform, because it's interoperable, and therefore you have no downside to doing so, except you have a faster speed, more secure, and quicker confirmations, making everything just more transparent and more easy for you to do so as well. So in summary of this whole long event here as well, in regard to what it says here, the future isn't just decentralization. It's honest. The crypto space has enough of decentralized projects that crash like centralized scams. We need infrastructure built on principles, not marketing. Proof of stake is not evil, but when mixed with toxic incentives, it becomes indistinguishable from a Ponzi scheme. And Mantra is just the latest to that. And it won't be the last. We're going to see a crypto culling event. We're going to see many, many cryptos go to zero because of toxic incentives from insiders, from those who just want to make a quick buck. Casper represents the next evolution of crypto. If crypto's evolution of money, Casper's evolution of crypto. And true decentralization is not the reason you go for Casper. It's a big factor for that, but because also what they're building. You don't jump necessarily to Bitcoin because Bitcoin's decentralized, but Bitcoin's just going to be a store of value. You wouldn't use Bitcoin for anything. It's too slow. But Casper have that capability as well. And what's also funny, before I get into some of the other content here as well, according to Holdinsky and also Kaspa Guru here, it suggests and highlights that apparently Grayscale, obviously we know Grayscale removed Casper for asset under consideration, and I made a video on that a couple of days ago, to which I speculated, and it is speculation, but I speculated that Grayscale are probably removing Casper for asset under consideration because they're preparing for an actual listing to put it in their product suite. Because for me, why would you remove one of the most innovative and up-and-coming projects that's trying to solve real problems and to be decentralized before their major upgrades come through, and they're only 2-3 weeks away, some of them? So I don't see why they remove it completely and move on. But either way, we can debate about that still, and we'll find out in due time. If they have moved on, they'll come back anyways. And again, ETFs aren't the end goal, but they'll be a good thing for adoption. But Casper was removed, and apparently Mantra was added. around the same time. Now, we know Grayscale want to add every asset in the top 50. That's why Mantra was added, because Mantra was a top 20 asset before the rug. Casper got removed. I'm guessing they kept dropping in and out of top 50. I mean, again, we can speculate. Casper right now is at 43, so it is a top 50 asset, just short of 100 million 24-hour trading volume, 2 billion market cap. Volume right now being dominated by the likes of MEXC, not MEXC, then from Gate, then it's BTCC, then MEXC, XT, BitGet, LBank, Bybit, of course, Bybit, BitGet, and Kraken. We want to see a high of those ones. We still haven't got there just yet. But yeah, I mean, right now things are still in a quiet phase for Casper, but I still believe we're going to see some very big moves coming through very soon. And the fact that Grayscale removed Casper to add Mantra and then Mantra goes for a rug pull is just, I don't think comical is the right word, because it sounds like I'm making fun of those who obviously lost their bags. I do sympathise with those who did end up losing out on Mantra, truly, and I wish it didn't happen. But again, it comes down to the element of doing your own research and trading at your discretion, the risk to reward. And Grayscale evidently made a big mistake in that regard by doing that. And again, it's just so important to keep researching and understand what's going to the space. And they even got a post here of someone who replied to Archetype, because of course I had been very well informed that Archetype was someone who also was very bullish on Mantra. And Archetype made a post about it yesterday, stating, kind of just saying, it's funny how you guys are hating on me. If you even follow me remotely, you would have seen that I actually took out most of my bag in Mantra and had just a moon bag there just in case. And I pivoted all my profits into Ondu, which is the leading reward asset project. And Ondu, I do think is a good asset, a good project. Or again, proof of stake, trader discretion, be very careful and do your own research. But I do believe Ondu is a decent shout. That's one project that I may make videos on in the future as well. I might even make a general update video again, which I might cover Ondu a little bit in that as well. But other assets I think do very, very well. But yeah, of course I think, again, I don't care who likes or doesn't like Archetype. I have no opinion of the man. I don't want to have an opinion of the man. I don't need to. But seemingly he had pivoted out of Mantra, which, fortunate for him and hopefully his followers that did do so. But I'm just highlighting here that he moved out, and I think that was a smart decision to make the pivot. Because again, it just comes down to your risk tolerance. And again, what he does say here, whether you love or hate him, either way, what he does say here is quite smart, in the sense of crypto is risky. Always moonbag your coins when you're getting up in profit. That is a wise thing to do. Of course, it's not financial advice, but it is a wise thing to do. If you, for example, this is, I guess, a lot more prevalent in meme coins in general, but it's still a good thing to do in general. But if you're doing the meme coin sector and you've invested into an asset that's 2x'd in like an hour, you should take out your initials. Or at least I would take out my initials. Which means if I put in $10 and it's got up to $20, I take out $10, maybe $12 and leave the rest in there. And therefore, either I've broken even or I made a little bit of profit. If it goes to zero, therefore, I've de-risked. So I'm not emotionally invested anymore. If it goes to zero, so what? I've made profit or I haven't lost anything. So in that regard, he did a smart thing in doing that. The crypto lady did say you should have put it into Casper, because smart contract around the corner, and she got blocked, which is funny, I guess. I get it. When I've had my haters, I've got quite a few haters actually that have been growing more and more because I keep talking about Casper, and I get it. It's fine. I either choose to try and respond because I want to still educate or just bring my thoughts to light, or just ignore them. I guess blocking is another way of doing so, but maybe I'm just too lazy to actually go through the element of blocking them. I don't know, but either way, that's just me talking about Mantra and how Archetype apparently was one of the ones who did pivot it out, but he was one of the ones who did have a bag in Mantra, which is, again, there would have been many people, not just Archetype, who were holding and bullish on Mantra, and of course now that has definitely not panned out. But that is kind of the Mantra updates, at least. And again, the sad thing, and the thing, it's not me trying to cause FUD, but it's the thing you need to take into account. This is the first, and it's not even the first, technically speaking, but it's the start. It won't be the last. There will be so many more projects, and you may see some very big ones. If you take a look at the cryptos in this list right now, Ethereum is the second biggest. I would personally predict that in the next 10 years, It's a long way away because Ethereum's so big. I think it's got a longer longevity. But I would like to believe in the next 10 years Ethereum's going to be worthless. I have my reason for that. Some of that is stuff we already know. The fact that it's not scalable, it's slow, it's expensive. But also because the other stuff I know about it, which I have highlighted and showed seminars of that to the VIPs in the Coin Factory here, suggests that Ethereum is starting to be on its last legs as well. And that's institutional sentiment as well, by the way. So if you want to find out more about that, again, link to join and find out more. 7-day free trial as well. The VIP group down in the description, also on my YouTube homepage as well. We do weekly live stream, trading education, buy and sell alerts with trading and whatnot, and much, much more. I'm trying to search out for what's more. I'm going to be doing some more education stuff as well, like maybe starting to focus around yielding as well, because that's going to be a very big thing. So if you want to find out more, then again, before the cycles return and before the institutions get involved properly, 7-day free trial, www.wop.com/coin-factory. But Mantra, has come down massively. It's not looking very, very good at all. And again, this is just where we're at in this space right now. I think you look at the asset right now, many are going to probably go to zero. Mantra's just capitulated. You might see Ethereum fall off in the future. You might see Solana fall off in the future. You might see Tron. Like, a lot of these assets are really, really big. Some of them are going to have good longevity and stay a while. The ones that are really big may survive a little bit longer. Although saying that, Luna crashed overnight, and that had over a $120 billion market cap. That was a huge asset. That capitulated. You might see many assets in the space that go to zero because they don't offer any real utility, or they're just carbon copies of something else. Either they offer bad utility, they've got terrible, shouldn't be swearing, apologies, they've got terrible tokenomics, bad fundamentals, or they're just copies or mirror copies of another project in this space. So you've got to do anything you look into, you should do your own research and trade your discretion, because some of them could do well this cycle, but some of them also could fall off and repeat to what Mantra just did as well. Ondo, I think, is not a bad shout. I believe in that regardless. But for me, of course, I think Casper is a very, very strong pick in general. To which I'm going to be talking about Casper updates real quickly as well. Or beforehand, either way, I'm going to be talking to and answering some questions in the chat, because it has been a good half an hour or so. That rug will never happen to Casper. Exactly right. Casper, it cannot happen. Hoping for a little Casper price drop to accumulate. Love being greedy. Hey, be greedy when others are fearful, Jeff. Be greedy when others are fearful. And yeah, if it just drop a little bit more, that would be very nice to get another cheap bag. But again, this is just my predictions, my speculation. Again, I could very well be wrong, but right now Casper is currently up 5.58% on the daily time frame. And we can see, based on the candles of the last, week or so, and even now when it's being met with resistance here, the buyers seem to be more so in control than the sellers right now. We saw a sell yesterday due to all the tariff palaver again, but even then there's not a massive wick below hand, which means that we're seeing seemingly more buyers than we are seeing sellers right now. So hopefully Casper therefore could break above that, and therefore the next key zone, you'll see resistances at 9 cents as well, but I think the key next one will be 10. I think you'll see, hopefully, you see it do something like that in the next, couple of weeks or so. I'd like to believe, but again, I'm not a financial advisor. Trading on discretion. Although I'm sure I'll be conversing with the experienced trader C Crypto, who's a part of the VIP, who can see what his insights are as well, and see if he has a similar thesis to me as well. Welcome back, Decent Man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Hope you have a very good day as well. Yo. You too, Leo, as well, and you too, G. MD, is it true that Casper will have nodes in space? Yes, it is. Casper, and is Casper then the first crypto with node in space? Yes. So the KRI, which I did also cover in my video a day or two ago, that the KRI just announced a brand new project called KONI, KONI, Casper Orbital Node Infrastructure, I believe it is. I forgot what the I is, but effectively it's just talking about their plans to launch a satellite, to launch a Casper node into space, which of course will give it even more protection from geopolitical issues or cyber attacks if it's in space, making it, I guess, even more decentralized as well. It's not going to happen anytime. Well, I say that they're drawing up the whole plans right now. They have a prototype ready by 2026 or so, and they have a over 2 year long mission. So by 2026 or in 2026, so we could hopefully be seeing this in space. So a lot of stuff still coming through in the next, year or two. Welcome back, Grandma Man. Yo to you too. If Mantra ain't a rug, then what is happening? It's a rug. Yeah, it's completely a rug. I was highlighting this yesterday as well. For me, the technical terminology is you've got a correction, which means just a pullback, a crash, and then you've got a rug. And they all do mean, decreasing in price, but a correction is anywhere from, 0.1 to a 10% pullback in price. That's what a correction means. So if it comes back to less than 10%, it's a correction. If it goes over 10% in a single day, then it is a crash. So if you look right now, just to give some insight, these days here, on the days where Casper came from all-time high, started going down. This day here, Casper came down on the day 7%. It did go down, bottoming out at 9.46%, but that is a heavy correction, but it's not a crash. This here was a crash, because that came down 25% that day. On the day, it finished down just 8%, so it didn't finish as a crash, but it did crash in value, because it went down 25%. And then a rug pull is, well, when you see a huge drop in value in a very short span of time. And in this case, it was a 90% massive drop in value in just 2 hours. That's a rug. That is a textbook rug pull. The fact that it's still got $500 million market cap for me is insane. The fact that it's still in the top 100 for me is insane. It shouldn't even be there. It should be worth zero now. But I'm sure that's going to come to fruition very soon as more and more people try to take their assets out if they can do. We track the strong correlation with Bitcoin and gold pricing. Shouldn't we start tracking Casper and silver correlation prices? How would I say? I don't think so. The reason why I say that is because, and it has become a bit more prevalent recently as well, is that us as a Casper community, and even the kind of more ingrained, technical members as well, we've been trying to slowly decorrelate Casper from being the quote-unquote digital silver. The reason why we gave us the title digital silver is because gold store value and silver is used for transactions, for medium exchange. So therefore, Casper is meant to be that in that regard. But we've been trying to desensitize ourselves from that, because Casper in itself is just very, very unique. It's meant to be more than just a medium of exchange. It's meant to be everything. Right now, Casper is not really correlating or tracking to anything right now. It kind of just, it's just following the market. But for me, Casper's going to start going through its own rally when the big defenders come through. I think Casper could very well see a very big rally in this quarter going into Q3 as well. Hopefully it comes to fruition though. I mean, if you look at silver right now, you can see silver has, again, look silver from when Casper started correcting here. Silver went up, came down, went up again, dropped down heavy, it's gone up again, but Casper may be following silver in the past few days, I guess, but right now Casper's not following silver. It's too early to call that. If it does in the future, we'll have to wait and see, and even then, Bitcoin's not really following gold right now either. That's actually quite funny. That's actually why there's been a slight pause on the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve in America, because the idea is that Bitcoin is digital gold right now, and it is, but if you look at the price of gold and how it's been reacting to tariff news going up and up and up, it's at all-time highs almost. It's still been going up in value, higher and higher. Bitcoin peaked in January. It's going to be going down since. That's actually a little nugget information, again, that was highlighted from a seminar in the institutional section of our VIP group as well. The fact that institutions right now, there's still going to be a good possibility of a reserve for Bitcoin, but it's been given a slight pause because Bitcoin has seemingly decoupled from how gold's reacting right now as well. But I'm sure we'll see again that all mesh together again later on in the cycle. I'd love to be at the Real Asset Expo. That atmosphere will be disgusting. Oh yeah, it would be complete mayhem, I'm sure. I would hate, truth be told, if I was a Mantra spokesperson, I'd just call in sick. I fully would. That sounds like the worst possible thing to do right now. After, the day after your project rug pulls down 90%, you're going to give a talk. No one's going to care in the slightest what you're going to present about. They want to hear why the price is dumped and what you're doing about it. You can say, I'm releasing this project next. Like, we don't care what you're releasing right now, because you just lost 90% of your value in just 2 hours. We don't care. We want to see, are you done? Are you just taking advantage of people? It's terrible. Welcome back, Falcon, who's doing very, very well. Imagine Casper and Silver would be closer to inversely correlated, wouldn't they? I mean, again, I think we can't correlate the two just yet. Rug pulls are fun, necessary to give perspective to proof of work, trilemma solving project cryptos. I mean, I don't think fun's the right word, but rug pulls do open up eyes to, you know, the end of having true ownership of your assets and true protection, which, you know, centralized authorities can't give you. Decentralization is the only way to have true protection. Proof of stakes, rug pull possible. Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what was highlighted from Casper Daily here as well. This information, by the way, I'll be retweeting on my Twitter, which you can find the links to that in the description, also on my homepage here as well. But I'll also be posting this in my community as well, my free Discord server, so again, link to join them down there as well. But I'll be reposting that as well. And yeah, proof of stakes can always have the possibility of rug pulling. That's the inherent risk to reward with proof of stakes. I still invest into some of them, and I'm going to, but for me, my biggest bag by a landslide is Casper because of its safety, and what they're building for me is too innovative to miss out on. ICP should rug pull to put all the sad holders out of their misery. However, their community is quite similar to Casper's. Casper's in that the most of them are entirely blinkered and deluded. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know too much about ICP, but I do know there's quite a very solid community behind them, and they refuse to, you know, hear any negativity about their project, how I'm going to put it. I mean, us Casper community members also don't like hearing that. I like to believe, I encourage people to talk bad about Casper if they have proof behind it. I would happily hear fun about Casper if there's some real logical proof behind it. And most of the time there isn't. Or if it is, it's too narrow-minded. The biggest proof I have of Casper recently that I thought was okay, the good argument, is that Casper's got very little adoption right now. That's true. But you're ignoring the fact that smart contracts are coming out. And the fact that you've got 10 PPS coming out, stablecoins coming out very soon. And when I highlight that part, they ignore that. So it doesn't matter. I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't matter? That's what I mean. The FUD for Casper, the FUD Casper given is based on the fact that it's not a complete project. Or that its price is bad. And both those factors can very quickly and might be very easily will change in the upcoming months with developments coming through from Casper as well. Speaking of which, we're getting some of the posts right now before we get into more of the comments right now. So we can see here, Casper highlights here, if you are interested in a more in-depth thread of layer 2's Casper, then see Vite's Coin Athletes post here. Amazing writing and in detail. And, you know, it's a very, very long thread here, a very long post here. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. I'll repost this again, so you go follow me and check it out if you want to read it for yourself. But to summarize it, effectively, it's talk about the fact that Casper aims to become a strong platform for layer 2s to enable smart contracts, but it faces quite complex challenges. Because Casper's layer 1 is fast and secure, building layer 2s using a based rollup requires solving issues like gas limit consistency, fair transaction ordering, which is MEV, trusted data feeds, so oracles, and long-term miner incentives. There are a lot of things that we may overlook that they have to take into account when trying to build good layer 2s on using based rollups on Casper's layer 1. Casper's based rollup approach lets the layer 1 miners order layer 2 transactions, with layer 2 fees directly benefiting the miners. This ensures miner support as block rewards decrease. So again, it allows the miners to make money off the gas fees from the layer 2s while still mining on the layer 1. And the Casper block rewards continue to decrease more and more. So right now, they are about, 59, 60? Let me check. I believe they're about 59 or something like that. 58 reward right now. They're going to go into 55 very shortly as well. Well, I say shortly, 21 days or so. It also talks about here the fact that it raises the questions about layer 2 operators, funding, gas limit handling, MEV protection, and Oracle integration. So the future plans, as CoinAthlete highlights here, include ZK proofs for enhanced security and trust, but also bring new challenges. So Casper emphasizes the research-driven, phased approach, launching basic layer 2s first and addressing advanced features like MEV mitigation and ZK integration later, after the Dagnar upgrade. So there are a lot of things that we don't take into account that Casper's trying to solve right now with layer 2s building on top of layer 1s while staying true to Casper's layer 1.5 element or layer 1. And that's why the EVMs coming out right now will be early stage smart contracts for Casper, but the true smart contracts come through as ZK proofs. We actually saw a post about how Tom Polinsky himself is addressing that. Let me see if I can load it up real quickly. If I type in Dagnite, will that come up? I'm going in my Discord server right now to try and see if I can find the post about it, because there was a post about it where Tom Polinsky basically just said, Is it this one? Yes, here it is. Perfect. You can see here in the post here. So, you know, Michael Sutton said here, I'm willing to admit that this was a remarkable engineering achievement, but I'll leave Ghost Dag to you and I'll take a Dag Knight. And someone politically replied saying you could take both. I'm working on a third one. And the third one apparently is going to be a smart contract system architecture. So probably ZK proof element. So it looks like right now you'll see, the Ghost Dag, Rusty stuff coming out right now. You'll see Dag Knight coming out, which will be Michael Sutton leading or taking the lead in that seemingly. That's going to be coming out this year, as Michael Sutton's already confirmed as well, or likely this year as well. And you'll see Son Polinsky working on the smart contract system architecture, future plans to include ZK proof to enhance security and trust, and also therefore help address advanced features like MEV mitigation, ZK integration, and much more. And it's going to probably take place soon after the Dag Knight upgrade. So you're going to see early smart contracts for Casper, following with stablecoins, then Dag Knight coming out sometime this year, and then you'll see the full-fledged smart contract system architecture, which will bring so much more security to Casper, likely later this year as well. But the early stage smart contract itself will be enough for early stage adoption, which will do very well for Casper going forward as well. It's very insightful stuff, and again, that's why Casper is one of my biggest picks. What they're building is they're solving, like, the stuff they're trying to solve has never been done before. It's like investing in a new project, in the space like Sui, for example. I think Sui is a good pick in this cycle. That's why I hold Sui. But you can see Sui as a 2.0 of Solana. It's better. It's even better than Solana, but it's just the same thing as Solana, more or less, in a very, very on surface level. Casper, what they're building, is not the same as anything. It's completely new and innovative. Proof of work, but scaling is never properly been done before. Even got a post here from Johnny, the executive vice president of the KF, where he talks about this post here, incident and compensation update from Prompt Social Claim. The TLDR about this is old. We talk about the crypto project, Calto AI, gave up free Prompt tokens to people through a social claim event. And someone with a MEV bot was watching the network for people claiming for these free tokens. So when the person clicked claim, the MEV bot quickly changed where the tokens were going, sending them to the bot owner's address instead of the person's address. So it's also highlighting again that a lot of projects in this space, this is just one example, this one of many examples that they haven't got true MEV resistances. Casper right now, as it is already MEV resistance, and you'll see even more MEV mitigation features added with ZK proof and smart contract developments for Casper as well going forward. But Casper already has a lot more security than many other projects because of the architecture at the very base layer, the Dag Knight element. And even we can hear here in this interview with Shai, just a 1-minute clip about what Casper is and why we believe in holding Casper. So listen very closely to this interview here.
I would say, if you ask me this, I don't know, at January 2022, I'd say Casper is the fastest proof of work. I think this is a very partial answer. Casper is the future, man. It's just an amazing protocol that has so many features that are very, very useful for solving a lot of the problems that the entire cryptocurrency industry is facing. And I would say, if you want to get technical about it, I'd say that Caspa is the only multi-leader decentralized consensus that exists. Like, this is the magic property I'm coming to realize, that it is a multi-leader consensus. Every round, there are several blocks that have to agree on each other. And this gives the protocol designer a lot of power. It allows, we all know it allows great parallelism, which gives you throughput and quick confirmations, but it also gives unique solutions to MEV and to fee markets and to oracles. It's just a healthier type of consensus that is harder to implement, but once you have it, it furnishes a whole new array to old problems, to holy grail problems, to problems that some people consider unsolvable.
And I couldn't agree more. What Casper's building is future. It is just the future of payments. That's how I perceive Casper as well. What they're building is so innovative, and the people who are working behind the scenes trying to either bring more education to Casper, like Shy, or the developers who are trying to actually build the code underneath it, like Son Polinsky, Michael Sutton, Coder of Stuff, 5BB, and Crypto Aspect, who used to work for Litecoin. He was actually the founder of Litecoin. And the list goes on. The developers, they are titans. What they're doing is unique, and it's not easy. You know, it's like, again, they haven't got a blueprint or an instruction manual to follow, because what they're doing is new, never been done before. So all they're doing right now purely is just trialing and testing and proof work. That's all it is. Trying to do something for the first time without a guideline is so impossible. Imagine playing a video game, right? Like a Dark Souls game, for example. I'm sure some people know what Dark Souls are, or Elden Ring, whatever it may be. A Bloodborne, Dark Souls, a game is just come out. It's just come out. There's no tutorial or no guide on how to beat those insanely, stupidly difficult bosses. So you're just trialing again and again and again, working out the attack patterns, and when to dodge, when to potion, when to parry. I'm sure not everyone here are gamers, so it may not correlate to all of you guys, but it's just as a gamer at heart, it's also just something that I can help make an analogy to. What they're doing is trying to work on something that is so incredibly difficult with no instruction manual, and it's just trial and error. And they're doing it at a relatively quick pace, if I say so myself. And it sounds like they're doing it slowly, but the fact that it's going to be releasing this year in time for the cycle is a very big deal. You can see from Ocean Lee here, also very interesting, again coming out this year. KuCoin Pay is now part of CoinPal, which is very good. CoinPal are a venture of the KEF, or Casplex even. And Ocean Lee highlights here, happy to see KuCoin Pay partnership with CoinPal. What if there were stablecoins on Casper? Not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. For me, it's a little bit of just a throwaway, but also funny little like just leak, just saying, you know, KuCoin's working with CoinPal, stablecoins coming to Casper, so you'll see stablecoins jumping on sort of platforms like KuCoin and everything as well. That's coming out this year, and it'll be very, very good as well. I know, or at least I know the opcodes to allow stablecoins on Casper are coming out sometime in May, unless, you know, the timeline's changed. So that's also very reassuring to see as well. And we also got this post here from Casper Reports talking about Casper's inactive supply is rising to a record high. And we can see that even if we look at Casperlytics right now, we go to Casperlytics.com and we go down to the inactive supply tab right here. You can look at that. 3 month. You can see that's rallying to all-time high. So now people have been holding for 3 months since December, since the new year. They haven't taken anything out. 6 months. Start to make a rally again as well. So those who bought around this peak here. Not this peak. The September time. Yeah, around the time we saw the release of KRC20. You're still in that, starting to rally up higher and higher as well. So people who bought from KRC20, for Casper at least, they're still holding. 1 year, also all-time highs. 2 years, still going up. 3 years, still going up. The inactive supply of Casper is staying high. Proof once more that while the price is down, the community incentive and investor confidence is still very, very strong with Casper. They still believe in the project. The hash rate has taken a bit of a nosedive recently, although in saying that, it's currently now just short of 1 extra hash again, which is reassuring, and again a good indicator that miners are coming back, and that seemingly the big fall off is mainly due to the nodes that are switching from the current version to the new RK version 1, which right now we've still got another 21 or so days until we see the full activation on the Crescendo hard fork onto the mainnet. And we do also have to remember that some new miners coming out the middle of April, which is any, you know, starting next week, more or less, to the end of April, for some new, more powerful miners to be, you know, solo miners to come out as well. So you might see the hash rate again start to rally up higher as well. It's very good to see with the price of Casper due to rise as well. You'll see this ecosystem start to resuscitate as well. You'll see the memes start to do better a little bit as well, and you'll see even more use cases come out as well with smart contracts, with stablecoins as well, bringing more life to Casper with more layer 2s coming out as well. Igra Labs, Casplex as well. You see a lot more coming through for Casper very soon as well. It's reassuring to see that Casper's got so much coming through for it, and you know, the sort of FUD you hear about price action, about no adoption, about Grayscale stuff, you know, it's definitely worth taking into account because it is important to help make your own investment decisions, but it's still noise. What really matters for me is the fundamentals at the root of it all, and that is the smart contracts, the 10 PPS, the Dagnite, the stablecoins, and equally it's also this stuff here as well. remember, the system is being reset. The whole financial system is being reset with stablecoins. And we just highlighted again. Stablecoins are going to be coming to Casper. So Casper is going to be a part of this system, hopefully going forward as well, and growing more in adoption as the cycle continues as well. This whole thread here talks about how we're going to see a reset in the financial system with stablecoins. The fact that here, Google will now enforce MiCA-compliant crypto ad rules across Europe starting 23rd of April, which is only 9 days away from now, which is a very big deal. Why? Because the European Banking Authority has confirmed the new crypto asset framework is now fully implemented. And that's a big deal because of what something that Signum says. Signum, by the way, is very big. Signum are a very, very trusted and regulated Swiss bank. And we've covered quite a lot of very, very in-depth articles. They talk to the institutions, to the banking sector, and they've got a lot of in-depth articles that we've covered in the VIP group as well. They've covered some massive, massive bombshells from webinars to actual research documents that has given us a very deep insight on what's coming to the space in the next couple of years, and even this cycle as well. So if you want to find out more about the sort of insight and the institutional sentiment and help devise your trading strategies and know what to do effectively, got a VIP group again, 7-day free trial period, linked up below in the description, also my homepage as well. A lot to provide in there, a lot more coming as well. But Signum here made a post which says here, with clearer US regulations, inflows from major funds are expected to start in earnest in 2025. Once this is proof here, this cycle is not over. Not in the slightest. Because the adoption is going to start this year. The adoption of integration of technology is already happening, but the adoption in terms of value and money flows in are going to happen this year once we get regulations. For me, the sources suggest from the elements of Congress and senators that it's going to happen around August, which is 3-4 months from now. We've got 3-4 months to accordingly prepare, potentially. Again, if we see Black Swan, tariff news, we see a further correction. I did see a post, I think, about how Trump's going to do some form of investigation into the pharmaceutical thing, like which could be very, could be very disastrous. And that's around September, I think. I'll see if I can find the post and put it in my community as well if you want to find out about that. But just highlighting again, the adoption we're going to see come through to the space very soon is looking very, very reassuring. And the point here that, major inflows are expected to come in earnest with regulations. Europe have just fully implemented their crypto regulation of MiCA. So you're going to see the European sector, the banks start to put to flood in their institutional capital into the crypto sector. Like effectively right now, this is new data from the 7th of April. So this is only a week ago. It's very, very recent. And we're seeing, again, all the stuff coming through as well. This is reassuring once more of the level of capital we're going to see coming through to the space, and the fact that, we'll see a crypto culling. I'm sure you'll see many more mantras, I'm sure, but you'll see many other assets that will start to rise out of the ranks and make a name for themselves like Casper with what they are building to capitalize on this space going forward as well. I think Casper's due for a breakout. I think the time is, inevitable. I think the time is right. I think a lot of big things are coming out, and again, it's just my speculation. It's not financial advice. But I do think a lot more is coming through for Casper, and I think we'll start seeing the green hills of Valhalla in the next couple of months or so. Casper starts seeing a reversal, and you'll see this channel pop off more so. I'm sure you'll see the community pop off more so as well. We'll be very, very bullish, and we hopefully will remain humble, but we can be there pleased and happy that we continue to look and research into Casper when the price was down, having conviction in what we're holding. It's just crazy that even a 6 billion market cap can just rug a lot of people like that. You want to know? Yes, that is crazy. But you know what's even more crazy? When you look at Luna. That's why Mantra's rug pull was crazy, but it does not hold a candle to Luna, because Luna was a 39 bill market cap. $39 billion market cap. That is insane. It was valued at $113. The market cap was 40 billion or so. So it was 4 times, almost 5 times. In fact, it was 5 times. Well, I guess if it's 6 billion, it was 6 billion when it rug pulled. It reached 8 billion. Mantra, it reached 8 billion at all-time highs, and that was in this cycle as well. That's in February. But if you look at it from recent, it was at 6 bill. So 6 bill to 40 bill, that is, quick maths, head, 7x. 7 to 8x. That's 7-8 times bigger Luna than was Mantra. That's why when Luna collapsed, everything collapsed. Mantra collapsed and not much. We saw a big fall off yesterday, but nothing else really. Look, we're already seeing recovery right now. But it is still crazy, yeah, once more again, that just because they're a big asset does not mean that they're safe. They've got bad economics, anything can happen. Do your own research, trade at your own discretion. Dimitar, my man, welcome back. Man, this is the best channel. I'm happy to watch you. I appreciate it very, very much, brother. I really, really do. Hope you're enjoying your day. And yeah, ready to learn more effectively, because we are still early. We've still got a lot more coming. And I think we're going to be for the biggest rally of our lives with Casper, truth be told. I think we're looking good. What's up, PMB? Proof of stake is air money, and 9% of VCs is a good bet for RUG. Solana, XRP, ICP, all the same principles. Can have some utility, but we can get lost in the investment very quickly. And yeah, I mean, that's the fundamental issue was that the fiat system's collapsing right now because you could just print stuff out of thin air. Originally, it was a gold-backed system. The dollar was backed by gold, so therefore it has some actual utility, some value. And then it became a petrodollar. It lost the gold value. It's no longer the gold standard. And that's when it started going to rubbish. It went crap. And now you got crypto meant to be the solution for that, proof of work. You know, you can mine it, Bitcoin. Because it's not scalable though, even though Bitcoin is already miles faster than the current banking system anyway, so Bitcoin is still an upgrade from the current banking system, it's still not fast enough that they want to have, that they want. So now you've got proof of stakes coming out that's going to be faster, but you can still print it out of thin air. Inherently, there's no difference. You don't mine it. It's all proof of work, so therefore, again, you are right, PNB. Proof of stakes are all air money as well. That's why proof of work for me is the future. I still, you know, again, I've hedged my bets into proof of stakes because I do think there's potential to make money in them. But long term for me, Casper is my bet. I don't have too much sympathy for the OM holders, to be honest. I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, again, it comes down to element of research. I always have sympathy for anyone who loses money. Even people who went into Turbo. When people went from Turbo, from Casper to Turbo here, I still sympathize with them as well. You know? Either you went there because you didn't do enough research or you're misinformed. Again, the reason could be whatever it may be, but I always try and sympathize with people because I don't want anyone to lose money. Again, you know, I guess I try to wish for the best for everyone effectively. Archetype's a scammer. I mean, again, people don't like him. I'm not going to comment on it because, you know, I'm not here for beef. I'm not here for anything. I don't particularly have an opinion on Archetype. I know what my community say about him and they're in touch with their opinions, and I think that's perfectly fine. I've not been, you know, without a better choice of words, victim to anything that's happened. Therefore, I have an opinion on it. That's just my way of also protecting myself from an increasing regulatory landscape. Therefore, it means I could end up having lawsuits if I'm not careful on my words. It's crazy, but it's the world we live in. Welcome back, Buffalo man. Hope you're doing very, very well. We still have a fantastic entry. Oh yeah, we do. You know, only 7.6 cents. Insane. Thinking that we could, you know, would you complain about not having would you complain about getting in now and not having a correction? We could end up seeing it go to 20 cents again. Waiting for another correction, or you can get in now and still have a potential, you know, 3x from just down there. It's still good. What's up, the Churv? Sold my OM to add to my Casper bag. The best trade to date. Feeding back other holders though. Oh, I mean, that's fantastic trade. I love that, brother. Keep that up. And yeah, it's sad to hear from other people, but you did the right thing, seemingly. So well done. When do you see Casper hitting 35 cents? Do you think the bull run is off due to potential incoming flash recession? The first question, I don't know. Because it just depends on the macro weight on the market and also capital development. So I really don't know. I think it will surpass that this cycle. I'm not sure exactly when it will reach that this cycle. And the second part being about bull run being called off. For me, unless we get some drastic black swan, no, it's not called off. And by that I mean the Fed's not cut rates yet. They've not printed money yet. If those two things happen and they don't save us, then yes, black swan, yes, then market's off. But right now, we haven't had rate cuts or money printing. Therefore, there's a much higher likelihood that we'll start seeing a rally. That we'll start seeing a bull run. So bull run's still very much on the cards right now. Very much on the cards. And again, we just highlighted here the level of adoption coming through for institutions, that they're waiting to have major inflows of major funds when we get regulations coming through. And they're not coming through just yet until August. So for me, again, there's a lot more optimism for me personally than it is bearish sentiment. And that's also further supported by the information and stuff I provide in the VIP group here, in a lot more in-depth insight, you know, from seminars for institutions, from research documents they're telling their clients and whatnot, everything that's telling us what they're looking at, what they believe in, where the cycle's going to go, what's going to look in a few years, the trillions of dollars, if not quadrillion of dollars of capital coming through. So again, if you want to find out more about that, down in the description below, VIP group, walk.com/economic factory, and also in the description as well. We provide a lot in there. We're also doing some trade alerts, and we're going to be putting education there as well. And just again, trying to grow the ecosystem more and more, to provide more, to give more benefits as well. But so far, the people who've been in there have, definitely found it very reassuring and very, beneficial for them in elements of learning how to trade as well. So it's good for my belief so far. Good to go. So welcome back, my man. Hello, Jay and chat. Hope you had a very, very good day so far. What's up, Mila's you too? Hope you had a very, very good day as well. Proof of stake? No, proof of mistake. Stick to proof of work. I love that trade. Yeah, couldn't say it better myself. When Moon? I'm hoping in a few months. Do you think the Bitcoin halving cycle will still exist in the future with all the institutional adoptions? A very good question, actually. Very good question. Do I think it will exist? Yes and no. And that's kind of a cop-out answer, I guess. But I think with institutional adoption, with crypto tech as a whole, and with Bitcoin becoming a reserve strategy most likely, the halving will still cause a leg up type thing. But I think the typical bull to bear cycle, where you see a bull run and then you see a 90% correction, like this sort of thing over the 4-year time span, I think this cycle will probably do something like that. And then from that point onwards, it'll just start, doing much smaller corrections. Like, I think the stock market typically corrects like 30%. Stock market typically corrects 30% from bull to bear. And the fact that the stock market is going to be jumping on crypto, because everything's going to be tokenized, I think crypto will go through something quite similar, maybe 30, maybe 25% pullback. It's still early doors, so I'm still thinking maybe 50 plus this cycle. Maybe around 50 this cycle. Or end of the cycle even. But I think if future to come, it'll become a lot less and it won't be as severe as a pullback. And if Bitcoin becomes a reserve strategy, then, it makes sense, because you want your store of value to keep going up in value like gold has been doing, right? Gold very rarely sees any significant correction in value. The biggest one was here, March 2022 to November 2022. That was from 2k down to 1.6k, and then we started seeing it make this gradual, rally up again, sort of thing. And even more parabolic recently as the dollar been collapsing more so as well. I'll hold it to $100 Casper. Hey, you might be holding a while, Chris can, but you'll be very rich, no doubt. I do believe Casper will reach $100 in the future, no doubt. That's wild, these people. You know what I mean? Luna was not. Yeah, Luna was terrible. I remember Luna like it was yesterday. It was disastrous. Welcome back, LB man. You're doing very, very well. Good question, Massamina. I would say it's better to bet on until you coin tokens, even if there's money to be made on memed. In the future, there will always be more regulations on Casper from either one. I mean, yeah, again, I think the potential of seeing a typical halving thing is still possible. Maybe not severe, but again, it's just an element of knowing what you hold and hold. I think right now the biggest thing that I am taking into account right now, based on the sentiment from the market institution as well, is that the market is maturing from hype and FOMO to utility. So you want to be right now trying to find the actual. People always say that, and that's been the case for many cycles as well. But it's always ended up being hype and FOMO. But right now, because the institution actually here is truly going to be hype and FOMO, it's truly going to be utility. Hype and FOMO will still do well, but it won't be as drastic. So again, I think Casper for me, this whole run here for Casper, while it had utility, this for me was just hype and FOMO, because it's like, Bitcoin 2.0, what's coming out for Casper, listings, that stuff. It was hype and FOMO. This correction here, it came up too high. Correction here has been, it's not offering real utility just yet. Chaos Theory came out, and that, didn't really do much. This has been like the kind of the realization market of there's not enough utility and use case right now. When you see smart contracts come out, stablecoins come out, TimBBS come out, Dagnite come out, all this coming out this year. And the ZK proofs as well. That's Don Polinsky trying to build the ZK architecture. That's when you see the utility and use case come out. Then you'll see Casper start to make that push again, because now it's got actual use case and compete in this market. In my portfolio, 350 Casper missing. My average buy is currently 11 cents, 11.2 cents USDT. I have the money, but the question is, should I make a limit order to a spot buy? I'm not sure what I did. What do you do? It's a good question. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, so trade at your discretion, do your own research. In my current position right now, I don't also trade Casper, so it's a difficult one for me. I only spot buy Casper. For me right now, I think spot buying. Again, that sort of information, it'd be probably a lot better to. I mean, again, that's kind of you, but it'd be a lot easier to seek out information and insight from C Crypto, who's a part of the VIP group there. I only had that because he's an experienced trader. I do trading, but I'm not as experienced as he is, so he has a better insight than I do. I only spot trade, and I have only been spot trading Casper. The only insight I can really give is that while things are looking optimistic for Casper and crypto right now, we're still very much in a period of uncertainty due to tariffs, so the market can truly go anywhere. If you do a spot order and Trump announces something with China tomorrow that's really bad, you see the markets capitulate again. So limit ordering right now and trading is inherently a lot more risky, in particular right now when things are so uncertain. Nothing's going according to plan right now, so it's very difficult. But again, if you want to find out more about that and have maybe a bit more, a bit more of an accurate answer, if you will, maybe worth checking out the VIP group, seek out C Crypto. He might be able to give an insight on what's happening right now as well, and give his insight on what he would do here. Can Casper replace Bitcoin, like what Plan K said? I think so. Because Bitcoin only is a store of value. Casper could be that and more. So I don't see why not. In the future, the memes will be certified as Certic for Pepe and Hoppy, but who is behind the certification? Certification. Damn. Yeah, I mean, there'll be some memes that survive, but again, it's ones that have actual, backing or something like that. It's going to be a tough road for memes. I think memes are still going to be about, because I think memes are kind of an inherent middle finger to all the centralization element. But again, that's also why whole Cap is a bigger middle finger to all the centralization entities as well. But you'll see a lot of that fall off as well. Spot buying on the dips is a great idea on investment if you have conviction in it. That's also a good. Yeah, I mean, that's it. For me, I spot buy Casper. I've been spot buying. I think here is a lot stronger for me to spot buy than limit order personally. And again, if you've got conviction in the project, then that's what I do as well. But again, if you want to find out more about that sort of stuff and much more, then check out the VIP group, links in the description, also my homepage here as well. And with that being said, that'll be it for today's Daily Casper and Crypto live stream. We've got a lot of stuff incoming. Regulations are close now, and this is going to be the big market top indicator, so definitely stay tuned for that. We're still early. We've got a lot more coming. I think we've still got a bull cycle ahead of us, and things are looking very, very good. Casper is unique. It's going to change the space, no doubt. Mantra is the first of many that'll start going through rug pulls and, capitulation, because many projects in the space are just inherently terrible and have no utility, have no use case, have, inflated prices due to VC promotion. Do your own research, trading discretion, don't be emotional, and be logical. That being said, if you want to know more about crypto and Casper, check out the free Discord server, link down in the description, also my homepage here as well. We're all a community trying to learn more about crypto and Casper, trying to learn a lot more as well. VIP group again as well, VIP group as well, if you want to find out a lot more. And if you enjoy, feel free to leave a like, share your friends, subscribe for more, and have a great day, good evening, and good night. Plan K is right, we'll all be rich, 100%. I believe that as well. Yeah, see you all next time, see you all tomorrow, take care now, and speak to you soon.